Hi tribe, welcome to the Lala Rose channel. Just a reminder, if you like what you hear, please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to reach at least 100 subscribers so that I could start doing live meditations. I'm also working with someone that might be able to assist me in doing it before the 100 subscribers, so I'm hoping that that might also work out. So that aside, I just want to say how grateful I am that that you listen, that I appreciate the messages I'm getting from my tribe on occasion that, you know, says when you share that what I'm saying resonates, to me that's really important because it gives meaning to what I do. And it's important to understand that since we're all so different, we're connected spiritually, but we're all able to perceive things rightfully so in a very unique way because we're all different. And I believe that the same message reaches everyone differently. So I try to not interpret, but I appreciate anyone's feedback, and it's perfect exactly like that. Like one person will perceive or understand something very different than someone else, and that's how it's supposed to be. And many times when I'm sharing with a group and everyone reads the same poem, let's say, and I hear someone else share their insight on that poem, to me it enriches my life when I can hear that person's perspective, because from the perspective of where I am and who I am, I'm not able to see that. And to me, so for me, it enriches my life. It gives me wisdom, and feeds me in a beautiful way to hear someone else's angle. Okay, so today we're here for the weekly tribe reading. We start out with the Tower and the Hangman. So the Tower is saying that we've experienced an event in our lives that has completely shifted the direction of our life. For some of us, a Tower moment could be a complete devastation of the way we lived our life, and we're at a crossroads to start over. There's a need for us to move forward in life in a totally different way. And the Tower also could be an awakening. And many times, when we get stripped of everything, it awakens us. So it could be all three, or it could just be one of these scenarios. And then the Hangman is saying that many times after we have these Tower moments, whether it's an awakening or something has shifted so dramatically in our lives that we need to redirect completely from where we are, or even if it's like a devastation, right? Like when everything gets stripped away. This is when the Hangman comes in. It's a perfect energy, which means that there's a time period right after having that moment where we can benefit from being in a holding pattern. Because while we're in this holding pattern and in the stillness that happens after an awakening or a devastation, is that there's so much wisdom that we can gather. So if you look at the Hangman, his head is in a aura of golden light. And so while we're in this holding pattern, we can gain a lot of wisdom. So it seems that our tribe is going through that. This could be something that has already happened or something that's happening. And the first thing that our guidance wants to talk to us about is the Hermit. This is someone who's started out in life with a certain degree of naivete. You've been through life, and now you've gained a respectable wisdom about life, who we are in life, how to be in life. And it's acknowledging that this is a good place to rest. Is a good place to rest in in the quiet silence of your wisdom. So as you're going through your tower moment and you're going through this waiting pattern of allowing whatever experience you had to go through to assimilate into your body, to start to see the light at the other end of the tunnel. It's bringing you to the hermit. When we go through these things, we gather much, much wisdom. And then what it's asking you to do with the Temperance card is to make sure that you stay balanced, that you don't overreact, that you keep one foot on the ground, on the earth, and you could have, as you're reaching to the sky and connecting to your guidance, stay grounded. It's also saying that you have a lot of higher guidance. The angelic world is very close. You're not alone. That what will benefit you the most is to be as much in harmony with yourself. As your emotional body needs to be as much in harmony as possible, and not to react, not be a reactive person or have that knee-jerking response to life. It's asking you to balance yourself between the feminine and the masculine. I always see the 2 cups and the water going back and forth as, to me, it's another infinity sign. It's the flowing with life, the back and forth, the feminine, the masculine, temperance. And then it's followed by the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Wands is, she's very empowered. So it might be asking you to listen to your intuition, balance your masculine with your feminine, because the Queen of Wands, many of us move a lot, very, very strong male energy. I think somehow society has pushed even women to be more masculine. And it's here asking you to step back, try to harmonize the female and the, because that's how we actually become manifestors, when we're balanced between both. And it's telling you that when you have the Queen of Wands or even the King of Wands, it's always saying that you need to take action. You can't just sit back. To trust your intuition. Ask yourself, what is it that you want to manifest? What is it that you want to be? And start to move towards that. It's a take action card. And it's also saying how that you have that power of manifestation. And then this line ends with the Three of Swords. And the Three of Swords could be referring back to the Tower. Whatever your Tower moment was, or whatever caused the awakening or the devastation, the Three of Swords is saying that something that was really, really important, that needed to be revealed, that you needed to know, was revealed to you. And that's probably what caused the Tower moment. And it's telling you that it's time to move beyond that. And the reason, because usually when the Three of Swords comes up, it's acknowledging a heartbreaking experience, but it's also saying that you were better off in the aspect of knowing, being in full awareness of what was real and what was truth. Whether this is a revelation of an illness that might have caused your Tower moment, whether this is a loss of a loved one, whether this is a loss of an intimate partner or something that has been revealed about somebody, or someone that's close to you that you might have felt a sense of betrayal. It's always best to be in the knowing side of things, because that's when we start to heal. And the next card, the next row starts with the Four of Pentacles upside down, and that means it's pointing out our insecurities about money, because the Four of Pentacles upright, it always talks about financial stability, that you have what you need, and when it's upside down, it's actually highlighting a fear. Many of us have a fear of being financially insecure. And it's really important that you don't do that. That's very critical. If you find yourself insecure financially, then it's really important that you start to use tools to get out of that, whether it's meditation, playing some recording that gives you positive affirmations, making the right choices. The next card is the Seven of Cups, and the Seven of Cups is giving you the advice. Whatever choice you make, whatever choices you're making, make sure you don't make it because you're desiring to have things, meaning that you want beautiful things, money. We can't make those choices anymore. We need to make choices, real choices from the heart, from the soul. It's also it's asking you to really understand your motivations behind your decisions. And the most important thing is not to choose out of fear. Because sometimes we're not looking for the mansion, we're not looking for the fancy car, yet we're so insecure, like the Four of Pentacles upside down, that we're choosing out of fear rather than from the heart. And I believe that we're entering some beautiful cosmic times, auspicious times, that are going to allow us that if we do choose from the heart, we will at the end get what we need. We will always have what we need. And this card is followed by the Judgment in Reverse. And Judgment in Reverse is asking you to look at what has happened to you in the past that you're still hanging on to. Something is keeping you stuck. And what's keeping you stuck in progressing and moving forward is something that you've acquired in the past that you're not letting go of. And it could be someone you love that you've lost. It can be an opinion of yourself that you have that comes from an imprint you might have had as a young child that's not allowing you to move forward. So sometimes you have to go back, and we need to acknowledge what it is that is keeping us stuck, because this is part of what keeps repeating itself. Why we keep having the same recurring moments is because we need to see something, and we need to acknowledge it, heal it, and then move forward. So it's asking you not to hang on to anything from the past. No old patterns, because that's the way towards freedom. And it could also be a reflection of, it might be a reflection of the Hangman, where there's a part of us that feels a little bit trapped where we are, unable to progress, and not have a real understanding why. So the solution out of this, the way out of the insecurity, and the way out of this feeling of being trapped is twofold. Is the first one is the Seven of Cups. It's just asking you to make choices only from the heart. And the second way is the Eight of Pentacles, which is stick to what you're doing. Continue to work on your craft. Don't give up. This is not the time to give up. This is the time to stay positive. And even though you don't see yourself moving forward, keep, this is like sort of like the turning point. If you give up now, you'll never see the rewards of everything you've done in the past. Because the next card is, the next row starts out with the Ace of Wands. So here's telling you there are new beginnings coming, the new beginnings in manifestation. There's a new beginnings in creative projects. There's new beginnings in finding the right partnerships. And the way to that is, you see the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Wands side by side. This is what I'm talking about. This is the beautiful balance between the female and the masculine. I have a story about this. I got this in a dream that it was called one of my big dreams. And I'm going to leave it for the end. So if you want to hear what the dream was about, you can hear it towards the end. But the Queen and the King, this is the female and this is the male. And this is our higher centers, the higher mind, and the higher emotional center. Creating a partnership, a beautiful balance between the female and the masculine. The Queen of Pentacles is all about that sense of abundance, beauty, serenity, generosity, kindness. I mean, that's who she represents. She's about beauty and kindness and love. You see her and she's beautiful, and she has a beautiful demeanor. And the King of Wands is the part that's saying, again, like the Queen of Wands earlier, is telling you to also, in addition to being in the state of harmony and love and that beautiful balance, needs to come also with the male side of you that's able to use your wand and actually start to manifest. So it's a combination of like, what are the two words I could use? Gentleness, and being able to, in the gentleness, strike a balance by still creating in this world, by using your wand and moving, and it's action. It's gentleness and action. That's it. Gentleness and action. And the warning here, again, for the second time in this reading, is the Four Cups. The Four Cups is saying that something is making you feel stuck. It's something that might be in the past. Maybe you're in a relationship you shouldn't be in. Get out. It's like sometimes we need to make the choice. If you're in a relationship that you shouldn't be in, if you have friendships that are keeping you stuck, if everyone around you is giving you the wrong message, you need to start to choose your friends, choose who your intimate partners are. Get out of that impasse. Because what that does, that's part of why you're not moving forward. You need to get out from the relationships that are no longer serving you. And the other message that the Four Cups tells you is, there's something that's trying to come in. There's something that's making you an offer of opportunities that you're missing because you're still stuck in your woes and sorrows about where your life is, and you can't see that something else is trying to enter. So the next line starts out with the Sun. So this is what we're all can look forward to. And I've been saying this for a while. I know that there's a certain degree of impatience, even on my part, that things are not moving fast enough. But the Sun is coming. You have to be confident. You have to stay in your childhood wonder. Victory is ahead. This is not a time to give up. There is divine guidance, and you will get the assistance you need. And what is necessary right now is kindness, 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 love, love, love. The Page of Cups and the Knight of Cups. This is about messages of love, offers of love. This could be about someone coming to you and making you an offer, or telling you finally what you want to hear in terms of how they feel about you. But this is also about the energy of manifesting. We need to be in this energy of how are we speaking? How are we communicating? What are we offering when we're in the world? Are we coming from that place of gentleness, love, and because that's how we manifest. That's our biggest tool. And then the Chariot is right after that, which means there's a lot of energy that will come later on. This is later on in the spread, that will come soon, but a little bit later from now, to push everything forward for you. So this is not the time to give up. This is the time to stay grounded, balanced, harmonious, kind, loving, and true to our creative projects and our efforts in the work that we do. And then the Knight of Pentacles and the High Priestess are the last two cards of the spread before we go to the Goddess cards. And the Knight of Pentacles is saying that an offer will come to you're possibly going to have an offer actually financially to move forward, or things are going to start to come in financially, possibilities, opportunities. So be alert. And the High Priestess is saying to listen to your intuition. It's like she's paramount. You need to listen to your intuition. Go into meditation, practice meditation, figure out what's yours and what's not yours. And so this way, when you're listening to intuition, you know it's real, it's true. Everything that we're thinking is guidance. As long as we know that we're clearing the mind of the anxiety and the insecurities, if you're constantly meditating and you're clearing your mind, and you know the difference of when you're not in harmony, when you are. If you're receiving something while you're in meditation or while you're in harmony with yourself, then that's a download. That's something trying to reach you, trying to give you information. It's not imagination. And then the last three cards, my Goddess cards. We have the Ace of Swords. Again, the Ace of Swords is new beginnings and actually creating something fixed and tangible on the 3D matrix on the physical earth. You have that energy. It's again telling you to follow your intuition, listen to your guidance. You have a lot of guidance coming in, and also take time to meditate. And then we have the Lover's card, and the way I see it here, it could be twofold. It could be us physically meeting that divine counterpart that's going to allow us, because of the combination of the energies, to really come into full balance. We should have that balance by ourselves. That I'm certain of. But if you're balanced within yourself and you meet this divine counterpart, you could soar. I mean, what you can manifest is beyond imagination. You will soar. So first, make sure, so the Lover's card means two things. Make sure that within you, the female and masculine are completely in balance, because that is the secret to manifestation, is complete balance within yourself, complete sovereignty. And then, once you have that, then you read the cards over again, and now that's about you manifesting this incredible relationship that will make everything move much faster. It will become more cosmic in terms of the energy of the Chariot and moving things forward. So there seems to be, just to review it very quickly, the reading is, I'm going back, looking at it. It's about acknowledging heartache, grief, tower moments that could have been complete devastation. It could be just simply an awakening that now we're able to really reap the rewards of that wisdom. It's asking you to stay in your wisdom, stay in your temperance, stay out of the insecurities and the fears, not to choose from there, and to stay focused on your craft. Remember that the female and the male aspects are really, really important to keep them balanced. Know when to act, know when to not to act, know when to say something, when not to say something, but always with love and kindness paramount, because that's where, at the end of the day, that's how we manifest. So I just want to, now, this is pretty much the end of the reading. I hope that it resonated with you and that it offered some advice for you. And I just wanted to tell you the story that I got in a dream. So I went to see a healer, and I love this woman. Her name is Angelica. And she, after seeing her right before I left, she said to me, pay attention to your dreams and write them down. She says, you're going to have a big dream. And so she says within the next week. So about 3 days after she said that to me, we were in the fall going, and it was one of those first fall evenings that it was very, very cold. It was bitter cold. And it took us by surprise. And I was freezing cold, but I didn't want to wake up my husband. So I went and tried to turn on the thermostat and turn the heat on, and I was playing with the thermostat, and whatever I did, it wasn't working. I just gave up after a while. After about an hour of messing around with the thermostat, I said, okay, I guess I'm going to have to speak to my husband in the morning. And then I went to sleep, and I had a dream. And in the dream, I was being taught by my teachers, and they were saying, we're going to teach you how to manifest. And what they showed me was the codices, which is the staff with the two snakes going up to the top, and the wings. This is, again, another infinity symbol. I see these symbols all the time. But this came in my dream. And they showed me the two snakes going up, merging together and coming to the top. And the minute it hit the top, the heat went on. And physically woke me up. And they say, this is how you manifest. And it was very clear to me that it was in balancing the female aspects of myself. And basically the end of the day is, you say to yourself, what does that mean? It means harmony. That's all it means. It means to be able to be in a place of harmony. So if you're not in harmony, you have to ask yourself, what is not in harmony? Why am I not in harmony? So it could be something as simple as, I just had a very recent experience where I have my dogs came back to me after 2 years of not living with them and experiencing some friction around it, because I was constantly thinking about, what are my neighbors going to think when the dogs are barking so much? What if I don't come home on time and they make in the house? There was so much tension around it. When I'm walking them, they're very loud dogs. Everyone else's dogs are walking and they're minding their own business. My dogs don't mind their own business. So I have all of this tension around it, and then I realized, wow, they're really teaching me something, because what ended up happening was that every time I found myself in that tension, anxiety-ridden moment, I was letting it go. I was letting go control of whether my neighbors were happy with it or not, whether my dogs were able to wait the 10 hours before I came home and not make in the house. Or it's just really allowed me to see a side of my mechanics that I haven't seen in a long time. Because when you're by yourself, there's no one living with you. I'm living by myself. And there's no one living with you. You don't have to deal with anybody's mechanics. You don't have to even think about whether someone else, how someone else feels or how they're perceiving a situation. So it was very easy for me to be really in harmony and this place of beauty and presence most of the time. And here my dogs come and I'm like, oh, totally out of kilter, and I could feel it. It was obvious to me that, and they were highlighting for me the parts that I still have that that needs work. And the type of person I am, my body type, my center of gravity, is such that controlling and having a clear idea of how things will work out tend to be very important to me, based on my body type and my center of gravity, and having to lose control and just flow. It's again that idea of temperance, of flowing with things, not taking things so seriously, and really doing the last line where it's the Sun, the Page of Cups, and the Knight of Cups. That's the whole point. The point is that the minute I shifted from not caring and saying, what the heck, screw it, like I'm not going to worry about it, and I looked at my puppies with love and started really emanating love and just focused on their unconditional love to me, then everything started to shift, and then I started to really enjoy them. So that's an example of taking a situation and bringing it back to balance and to harmony. And that's the idea of the female and the male, is finding ways to always returning to that balance. I hope, again, this is my goodbye. Love you, tribe. And I've promised some things like in dreams and in meditation, and I'm hoping to get around to it soon. Okay, love you guys. Bye.